DJ Jukebox. Get that.
Hello, this is Danny Man of USA Basketball, head coach at Wake Forest University. You're listening to DJ Jukebox.
I put the new 4Gs on the G. I tap into the bloody boxes underneath. Cause I might got it out the street. I keep 100 racks out my G. I really don't get it no more with the whole team. Not paying some calls cause I'm hauling. I was going to get it back in the morning. I was broke, now I'm rich deep. Saucy. All this design on my body got me drip drip. And straight up out the honest, I'm a big trip.
And they're really athletic on the perimeter, so I expect them to do really well.
Yeah, disappointing for Niagara because they were actually the top team in the league in the standings.
To preparing for teams and then, you know, those rosters changing by the night. So I think, this, you know, Ryan will really do well, and he's used to adapting.
He's used to chaos, and that's what we're expecting over the next 2 weeks, that's for sure. Let's introduce you now to the final two members of our broadcast team, the two gentlemen who will be having the call. That will be Peter Rutgazer alongside former coach and current NBA scout, Joe Razzo.
Thank you very much, Andy and Javon. Well, Joe, two key players in this game. One of them for Hamilton, Briante Weber, the point guard. On defense, he's like a dog with a T-bone.
No question about it. Briante's a special player in this tournament, or in that he's plays 45 NBA games under his belt, and that's impressive. He plays in a very good team in a pro league in France, which is one of the best leagues in the world. He's fast, he's quick, he's Captain Chaos. He will make things happen on both ends of the floor.
Now, for Niagara, you have Cassius Robertson, a Toronto native, just signed a contract in the top league in Spain. He's got a lot of tools in that toolbox.
Yeah, a lot of players, you'll see them develop as players internationally, and Cassius has gone to better leagues every year. Last year playing in the NBA Summer League, going from Bologna to Italy, to the ACB, he's going to be a big player for Niagara, and they're going to count on him. He's a shooting guard, but he can play the point guard position, and he's got deep, deep range.
So Weber, Robertson, watch for those two players here this afternoon. Andy, back to you.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Live Sports is back on CBC. Did I mention Live Sports is back? Yeah, I'm probably going to say that about 20 times already. River Lions, Honey Badgers. Tip-off is next on CBC Sports.
Canada Deposit Insurance Corporation is a federal agency that protects your money when you deposit it with any of our member institutions. Look for our logo, however you bank. CDIC, see how we protect your money.
Hey, do you happen to have a tampon? What size? There's more than one size. It's about your flow, okay? It changes, so should your Tampax. Only Tampax has 5 sizes and a leak guard braid. If it hurts to remove, go down. Leaks, go up. Super regular. That's my combo.
Tampax, the only tampon with a leak guard braid to help give you more leak-free periods. Time to Tampax? What's your combo?
Taking care of yourself is an important part of active aging. And you've already formed some excellent habits. Like looking after your teeth with regular checkups. Or booking an eye examination every year. So why aren't you getting your hearing checked regularly? Half of Canadians over the age of 50 are living with hearing loss. At Connect Hearing, we've helped over 250,000 people, and we can help you too. Call this number now to arrange a complimentary hearing evaluation at Canada's most referred hearing health care provider. We have convenient locations in your community with the most advanced, discreet hearing technology. Our licensed staff can answer any questions and find a solution that fits your budget and lifestyle. Ignoring hearing loss won't solve the problem, so visit your local Connect Hearing clinic and discover why taking care of your hearing is an important part of your overall health.
The trusted way to hear today.
With Insalatissime Rio Mare, eating well Italian style is easy. Only high-quality tuna, selected legumes and vegetables, many delicious recipes to eat everywhere. Insalatissime Rio Mare, real Italian taste.
Being Black in Canada, a conversation about the change that needs to happen, featuring a special discussion with the cast and creators of the Book of Negroes. Join me, Asha Tomlinson, for Being Black in Canada, Sunday at 7 on CBC and CBC Gem.
Tomorrow, the emergence of new realities, a new normal, new fears, new hopes. CBC News delivers the latest information you need to navigate these times. Join us tomorrow on The National.
Niagara, the top team in the regular season last year, but they were ousted in the semis by Hamilton. New year, new players, though. New story gets written now. Let's take you inside the Meridian Center. Peter Ruckgeiser will have the call alongside Joe Razzo.
Thank you very much, Andy. So first game of the 2020 Summer Series. Two teams that know each other very well, Hamilton and Niagara. Let's go to the starters for both these teams here this afternoon. We talked about Briante Weber, Mukuma, Notice, Klassen, the veteran out of Kingston, Ontario, played over 200 games in Europe, Kennedy, and then you have Mullings, Trey Bell Haynes, Robertson, Guillaume Boucard, and Sam Muldrow, last year's Defensive Player of the Year. Joe, how do you see this game taking place here this afternoon? Because this Hamilton team, nobody is back from last year's squad.
No, so you got a new coach and you got a new identity, and they're going to try to build a culture. But what they do have, they have Briante Weber. And on defense, for sure, it starts right there. It starts with Briante and it builds off of them. This will be in a very athletic team and a real solid team. Ryan Schmidt, good young coach, come through the 905 system, a development coach. This is a big step for him as a coach taking this team.
And then for Niagara, there's a guy that I'm pretty sure are familiar with and taught him everything he knows about basketball, Victor Razzo.
Yeah, I know him pretty well, and I haven't taught him everything because I think he's learned from a couple of lunatics in Canada, and he's been a student of the game for a long time, and he's learned the game as a player. He was a leader, and right now as a young man in this team, he's done a real good job with this group.
And you know, shortened training camp, and I talked to him the other day, and he said, hey, I'm not babying these guys. I'm going to implement as much as possible. And the advantage that he has is the fact that he's got a number of players back from last season. That makes it easier.
And I think that was the process. I think he liked this team last year. And I think the fact, too, that he's a younger coach and he's got the respect of this audience and that group. So I think that's very important to him. But he likes what he had from last year, and he's building on it.
Niagara was 15-5 last year, the top team in the league. You had a Hamilton at 10-10. They were in 4th place. They pulled off the upset in the playoffs last year out west. And there is Daniel Mullings, another guy who's like a dog on a T-bone when it comes to playing defense. He's going to be a key factor in this game here this afternoon.
Yeah, Daniel Mullings will be the Briante Weber of the Niagara River Lions. He's a very good scorer, very active, but incredible defensive player. Former WAC Defensive Player of the Year, former WAC Player of the Year at a real good school that people know where Pascal Siakam played.
So we're about ready to get going here. The first game of this 2020 Summer Series. And later on this afternoon, we'll have the expansion Ottawa Blackjacks as they will be in action. They'll take on the Guelph Nighthawks, and we are underway. Here's Mullings, and we get our first points of the contest as he drove right to the rack.
And that's a steal early in the game because they know Sam Muldrow is a very good jumper. Turns around and had a set play there off the jump.
Here's Mukama. His shot no good. Mullings there skies and gets the rebound.
You're going to see a lot of nervous energy early in the game, but you're also going to see teams played with an early clock. Javu Mukamba is a very good deep shooter, especially if you give him a little bit of a look just like that. He's going to take it all day long.
And there you see Daniel Mullings. We're a little bit surprised, though, that Derek Cook Jr. is not in the starting lineup. Didn't really play a big role in practice yesterday, so we'll see if he gets into this game at some point. Shot clock down to 3. Here's Boucard. Tries to float one and misses.
A good defense by Hamilton there.
Here's Weber into the corner. Dwayne Notice. Wait for Raptors 9:05. Here's Klassen. Pocket pass inside. Can't pull the trigger. Klassen now from downtown, and he drains the triple.
Great series by Owen Klassen. Good decision by Hamilton to play through a veteran like that. You saw early in the game he's a great screener, and he laid out Daniel Mullings early after the first score, and there set himself up for a pick and pop.
Here's Sammy Muldrow, big man who can shoot it from the outside. Post up here now for Klassen, working on Muldrow. Little baby hook, gets it to go. So Klassen off to a good start.
Great player, 28 games at least with the national program. Played in Germany, solid big who can run the floor.
Played last season at Antwerp in the Belgium League. Had 9 points, 9.3 points, 6.7 rebounds last year in Europe. Here's Weber, he launches a triple, misses it. Boucard has the board.
Both these teams are going to be working on their transition D because they know both teams are trying to score early.
There's Trey Bell Hayes. His shot is no good. He's fouled. And Trey Bell Hayes, he's the big point guard for this team.
Yeah. Let's look at Klassen getting the ball in the post. Good read and react by the post player. He gets it, he looks middle. He comes in, he creates a little bit of space and a great left-handed hook. We saw a deep three by him and a left-handed hook. That's pretty impressive in the first couple minutes of the game.
Trey Bell Hayes at the line. As I mentioned, second-team All-Star in the league last year.
Yeah, Trey is very good at what he did there earlier, getting to the rim. If you give him a seam, he'll take it, and he's a very good finisher at the rim.
Played last season in the Finnish league for the Helsinki Seagulls. Former Vermont player. 5-3 lead here. Early going of this one from the Meridian Center in St. Catharines for Hamilton. Here's Weber. Klassen again, mid-range. Left that one short. Loose ball. And Robertson couldn't haul it in. That'll be Hamilton ball with 14 seconds remaining on the shot clock. We'll take a look at the officials for this afternoon's game. Here's Notice, he gets stripped. Trey Bell Hayes driving, and he makes the floater go.
Real good solid defense there. Got real tight in him. No player wants somebody that tight in him. You'll see right now the matchup that Niagara's gone with Trey on Dwayne Notice because they want Mullings on Weber.
Jalen Babb Harrison inside for Weber. Weber, a little scoop off the glass, and he sinks it for the deuce.
And not just off the glass, he had to go over Sam Muldrow to make that.
Here's Hayes now. Exchanges with Mullings. Mullings trying to back his way in. Loose ball, turnover, and now back the other way comes Notice for Hamilton. Notice, little Euro stick, blasts it in, and he'll go to the line.
Well, real impressed with Dwayne Notice on that. You got a great shot blocker like Sam Muldrow. So here we go from defense with Dwayne Notice, and you watch how close he gets to Sam Muldrow's body. He's not going to let Sam extend himself to block the shot.
Notice at the charity stripe.
Great steal here on the crossover. This was a matchup that Niagara was looking for.
Ryan Schmidt talking about Dwayne Notice. He said he has him with the 905, the Raptors 905. Doesn't have the ball in his hands a lot. This time in this tournament, he expects to see him with the ball a lot more in his hands, creating a little bit more.
And that's a good idea because it saves Briante Weber if him not having to handle the ball all the time.
Weber's going to be a workhorse in this 2020 Summer Series. There you see Weber again, active hands. Here's Robertson, launches one, hits the iron. Hamilton on the run. Jalen Babb Harrison, he has to stop up. Weber asking for a screen. Here's Weber on the drive. Try to make a pass, is picked up by Boucard. Guillaume Boucard now on the drive. Boucard gets the bucket, the hoop and the arm.
Yeah, great series by Guillaume. Playing the lane, getting his hands, creating the steal situation, and then taking it to the basket. Probing a little bit, and then he's very good at attacking the basket.
Guillaume, one of those Carleton Ravens. You'll see a lot of Carleton Ravens here in this 2020 Summer Series. Plays in Mulhouse in France. always consistent. Joe, I've seen this young man play about a dozen times professionally. He brings it every day, never has a drop-off in his game.
And the people that have seen Guillaume play in his career since university, he's just gotten better. And he's another pro who's gotten better every year. CEBL Canadian of the Year last year. He's a solid player who can adapt and play a bunch of positions. His defense allows you to keep him on the floor all the time. Now Niagara with Ryan Edgham's substitution for Sam Muldrow. The one thing about Sam is that Sam's got the size, and right now you're going to see a lot of early substitutions, especially for the bigs.
Talking about Boucard, Vic Rouseau said that if he can knock down his shots, that'll be a bonus for us. Real solid defender on Johnson right now. 10-8 lead here for Hamilton. Here's Young. Jalen Babb Harrison, shot clock winding down. Floater, no good, too strong. Loose ball up for grabs, and that'll be Niagara ball.
And that's an example of Daniel Mullings, who's going at the end of the game, he's going to have possibly double-digit rebounds. He is an exceptional rebounder. And here he goes up against Khalif Young and gets his hands on it.
Little up-court pressure here from Hamilton. Bell Hayes, a little bit of trouble there. Weber right in his grill and then trash-talking him.
He wants to send a message that I can control the basketball and you're not going to get by me. And the one thing that Trey will do, the one thing that Trey will have to do is not walk with the ball. That's where you allow a ball thief like Weber to be dangerous. He's got to rush the ball up the floor because it's hard to get your pocket picked if you're going full speed.
And you can see that high-end energy from Weber. I saw him in practice the other day, and boy, he is like an Indian rubber ball just bouncing around in the gym.
Yeah, and then he's sending the message right there. He wants to get into you and say, listen, are you scared of me? And I think Trey will pick that up.
Young kicks it out. Derissa, his shot's no good, and that's a young man that Vic Rouseau said he really likes him. He hasn't played in almost 2 years, but he's a player with a lot of skill.
And he's a very, yeah, you're right. He's a real good shooter, but confidence has always been one of his strengths. When he was at Ryerson and Tennessee Tech, he evolved as a player as he got on. His confidence level will be high.
Okay, so we'll take a break right now. Hamilton leading this one by 2 over Niagara. Back to St. Catharines on the other side.
The medical community is alarmed at the devastating impact of the pandemic. Too afraid to seek urgent care, people with heart conditions or stroke are suffering at home, risking irreversible harm. This is causing complications not seen for decades. Hospitals have taken extra precautions, so don't hesitate to seek care or to call 911 if someone has signs of heart attack, stroke, or cardiac arrest. Do not let COVID-19 destroy more lives. Learn more at heartandstroke.ca.
Super Emma just about sleeps in her cape.
I'm Super Emma.
But when we realized she was battling sensitive skin, we switched to new Tide Plus Downy Free. It's gentle on her skin and out-cleans our old bargain detergent. So she can focus on saving the world. With a little help from Dad.
New Tide Pods Plus Downy Free. Safe for sensitive skin with eczema and psoriasis.
Kotak Law, the official law firm of the CEBL Summer Series, knows these times have been tough for Canadians. That is why they are donating $7,000 to the Canadian Mental Health Association and invite CEBL fans to join them. Visit CMHA.ca today and join Nadish Kodak in supporting the mental health of Canadians from coast to coast. Peter Rutgazer, Joe Razzo, Amy Audibert, and our entire CBC crew here. Game number 1 of the 2020 CEBL Summer Series, and it's been pretty interesting ball here so far with Hamilton in front by 2, Joe.
Yeah, and it seems like Hamilton's got just a little bit more confidence right now early in the game, and they've settled down a little bit. And I think now you're going to see that both teams settle in this, after this media timeout.
The veteran Tyrone Watson into the contest for Niagara, and that's Johnson knocking down a tray.
Yeah. One thing about Johnson is he's not going to be shy at all. He's a solid point guard who can score, and score in buckets.
Here's DeRisa. In the lane, tries to make that pass. Is behind the intended receiver there, Okama.
And Hamilton's done a real good job of getting the ball in the lane, and then their shooters will react off of that. You can see them as they were getting in the middle. They're looking for the shooters all the time.
Here's Mullings out there with his former New Mexico teammate, Tyrone Watson. Off the screen is Robertson. He can't release it. Mullings wide open for three and drains it.
That's a nice set there for Niagara. They needed something, and getting Mullings shooting the three and knocking it down is very fortunate for them.
2-point lead here for Hamilton from downtown. And that is Jalen Bab Harrison that drained that one.
Hamilton shooters are locked and loaded, ready to go. If they're balanced and in their range, they're shooting it.
And there you see Mullings on the inside, muscling his way in there and getting two. Catch and release. That's too strong. Pinson is in there. He gets the board, pushes it ahead to Mullings.
Good open look for Hamilton.
Deep three there from Robertson. We talked about him in our pregame, and he is a very confident player, Joe.
And I said with max range, Niagara's got a few players with max range. When I say max range, I'm talking about anytime they touch the ball, they're in their range inside the half court.
Game tied at 16. 3 minutes remaining now in this first quarter. DeRisa wants to drive. He gets met there in the paint. Great job by Edgem. Gets it ahead now for Robertson. He's by himself. He has to hold up, set things up in the half court.
Thought he had an opportunity there to go right to the basket with the quick score.
Robertson directing traffic. Watson inside, good feed, as that was Edgem getting it over to Mullings. That's a nice dime right there from Edgem.
And it started with Tyrone Watson finding Edgem on the post feed reaction.
Okama comes right back and hits it from downtown. So things heating up a little bit offensively here for both these teams. Step back three for Robertson, too strong. They get the offensive board. Watson does a great job of keeping it in play. Edgem, some contact there, and then the putback. And Niagara, they're going to go to the line.
One of the things you got to love on offense is when you get a second chance opportunity. And Ryan Edgem has been that guy that gives it to you all the time. So here he is, attacks the basket. And then Daniel Mullings, again, small guy, offensive rebound. But that whole series started with Ryan Edgem on the offensive boards.
We talked to Coach Razzo the other day. He said, I don't know if we're a good shooting team, as good as we were last year, but he knows that we're going to be a lot more physical and rebound the ball a lot better here and have more size.
Well, right now you've got two teams that are real confident shooting the basketball, and they look mirrors of each other in that they're both, anything that they catch that's open early in the clock and in range, they're shooting it.
There's Johnson now. Missed that one, loose ball, and it comes to Ryan Anderson. He's checked into the game. Has won 5 pro titles over his pro career. He knows what winning's all about. Here's Watson, wants to put it on the deck. And that's going to be a foul against Hamilton.
What we've seen early is both coaches have got lots of players in. They want to get a lot of guys sweating early in the game, get them a feel of this, break this nervous energy. So here, Tyrone is a physical player, and he's always going to look to draw contact. That's his game, be it in the post, be it on the perimeter. He's always going to use his body. And there he got kind of lucky because Dwayne was almost there.
Tyrone Watson, a real glue guy. Coach Razzo said he loves having him on this team because it's like having an extra coach out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tyrone can play a bunch of positions for you and guard a bunch of positions for you.
That shot contested by Klassen, and that pass goes astray.
And that was good job by Ryan Edgem getting back on defense. Offensively, first big, Klassen showed us a lot today. He's running the floor, and Manny saw him early open and just missed him. But Edgem did a nice job of getting back.
Niagara up by 1 here. 1:14 remaining in this first quarter. Watson trying to turn the corner there on Notice. Little pocket pass, kicked it out off the back iron, and Notice has the board. Under a minute now. Here's Klassen working on Ty Watson. Trying to go baseline, and he steps out. And Tyrell Watson, good defense there, Joe.
So the advantage that Klassen has is his height and size. What Tyrone did was early work. He didn't allow him to get positioned. So now Tyrone's got all this strength. And so therefore he's in a situation where he can play Klassen. But if Klassen buries him, Tyrone's got no chance.
Niagara trying to go 2 for 1 here. Here's Watson on the drive, going downhill, the feed inside. Edgem wasn't expecting the pass, gets the ball anyways. Kick out, and the release by Anderson misses it. Here's Notice. Gets the return feed in the lane. Johnson for 3, no. Anderson on the move, pushes it ahead for Pinson, and that play blown down.
Good shot and a real good foul there by Alex Johnson. And that he saved 2 points on it. I realize they're in a bonus situation, but made a good play.
Ryan Anderson, shooting 2.
Okay, mark of legacy, a mark of our game. Spalding is the official basketball partner of the CEBL. Get your replica CEBL game ball now at CEBL.ca. Take our game to your courts. 14 seconds remaining now in this opening quarter. Niagara with a 22-19 lead. Floater, no good. Pinson now gonna chuck that ball up, off the mark. So 22-19, Niagara leading this one. Joe, just brief thoughts on what you saw.
Well, I saw a lot of bodies, and we saw teams that are very similar, looking to penetrate and looking for open shooters. Very selfless basketball, big time.
We'll come back. The St. Catharines right after this. More CEBL action.
Did you know that every single flush flings odors onto your soft surfaces? Then they get released back into the air, so you smell them later. Ew, right? That's why Febreze created Small Spaces. Press firmly and watch it get to work. Unlike the leading cone, Small Spaces continuously eliminates odors in the air and on surfaces, so they don't come back for 45 days. Now that's one flush and fresh bathroom.
We've all got some miles to make up. Miles to the job site, the campsite, and anything else we set our sights on. So let's roll up our sleeves, because we've got miles to make up. Now you can buy from home with the help of Ram Click and Drive. And during Ram Summer Clearance, you pay what we pay with employee pricing plus and 0% financing for 84 months.
Welcome back, everybody. Daniel Mullings, boy, he's been on fire so far in this one, Joe.
You know what, and he does that. He scores early, first play of the game. He hits the 3. He's a good rebounder. He sneaks in there. He's relentless at you. He just keeps coming and coming and coming. He plays like a honey badger.
You see some of the work here. There's Edgem, and then Mullings with that putback. You know, he's noted for his defense, but he's got some offensive upside too.
I remember working with Coach Triano with him, and they just love him. At New Mexico, he was a player of the year at New Mexico State. Defensive player of the year at New Mexico State. And here's a guy who's gone all over Europe and is getting to better and better leagues.
Played last season in Israel, averaged 20.4 points per game, 7.4 rebounds a contest. Jerisa, this is a deep 3, clangs it. CEBL Hayes back into the game now. Screen set there by Randy Glaze as he makes his first appearance in this contest. A tip there by Mokama. He's going to take it to the rack. Uncontested jam.
Yeah, great defense by Hamilton, and not just great defense on the ball, but great defense when the ball went in the post. They got in shot lanes, knowing that, in this case, Niagara wanted to throw it out.
Second chance opportunity here now for Niagara. Floater from CEBL Hayes, can't get it to go. And now here comes Hamilton on the run. Weber, runner is good.
Both guys came back with the same shot. Trey Bell Haynes, that little runner and jumper, and Weber showed him how it's done.
Pace really picking up, and Grandy Glaze deposits that one for 2. Here's Klassen, and they're going to say he was pushed out of bounds.
And there's a great example of the first big down the floor. Nothing can go wrong in transition if your first big runs the floor. So here Hamilton shoots the gap on it. JB knows that the post is in trouble, and because of size, he can't skip it. Great play.
That foul was against Tyrone Watson. A little more urgency in Hamilton's game right now. Air ball. And now here's Pinson. He'll get it over the timeline. Swatted away by Mukama.
Yeah, and I thought that last shot by JV may have been the first time in the game where somebody was using their shot to be the offense. Because right now, these teams are playing very selfless. They're using the flow, they're using each other. The pass has been a weapon for both these teams.
That's the one thing that Coach Schmidt talked about his team, being unselfish, sharing the ball. We've seen that here late stages of the first, early here in the second, and there's Pinson from the corner as he drains one.
Dorian's only had a couple days practice, but he was a big part of this team last year. Quite young, another guy that's improved at every league that he's gone at, and he can score in a bunch of different ways.
Foul here against Niagara. Against Randy Glaze.
Team second. Daniel Mullings.
So Mullings is going to check back in for Ryan Anderson. Plenty of time on the shot clock here. Up high for Klassen. Oh, the alley and the oop. Nice feed, Derisa. Bringing it to the veteran Klassen.
Great set play. Anytime there's a back screen, there's got to be some type of communication on the switch. In that case, Trey didn't call it. And Weber set a great screen and just held it.
Watson, he goes cross court inside Mullings, and Mullings is fouled.
Going back to that play on the alley-oop dunk, the great part of this is the back screen set here. If there's not communication, someone's going to be open. And with a series like this, you've got to talk. And so all of a sudden now we end up having a victim, and Niagara's the victim on that one.
Great vision right there by Derisa, as he's going to check out. Young man that hasn't played for a couple of seasons, had back surgery. And if he ever get his game together, boy, talented ball player.
Oh, he will. He's come off some major injury. He will, no problem. What I like about Manny was he made a great pass there, but every shot he's had that's been open, he's not even thinking about he's shooting it. That's the guy that I remember.
27-25 lead for Niagara. A little up-court pressure here. Mullings. And
so what we got here is the same thing that Briante Weber was doing. Now you got Daniel Mullings on the basketball and forcing a push-off.
Team second.
So check the pressure on the ball here. So he gets right into somebody's space and makes him uncomfortable, and then you get that push-off because he got into his space.
Mullings in trouble here. Trying to hang on to that ball. Loose ball now. Klassen has it. Try to feed it inside for Klassen. It's picked off. Grandy Glaze almost ran out of track, but able to get the layup.
Wow. Both teams are going all out on ball pressure.
Jalen Babb Harrison trying to get it to Kennedy, and here's Guy Boucard, thrown down with no problems. And now a timeout called by Hamilton. They need to talk things over.
Both teams have scored. Both teams have scored on defense. What a great read by Guillaume Boucard. They're shooting the gap on it.
Here's Boucard. Easy, uncontested jam. Back to St. Catharines when we return.
New Tide Power Pods one-up the cleaning power of liquid.
Can it one-up whatever they're doing?
For sure.
Seriously?
One-up the power of liquid, one-up the toughest stains. Any further questions? One-up the power of liquid with new Tide Power Pods.
HelloFresh recipes are so easy. You can get dinner on the table in about 30 minutes.
Yay, I loved it.
Now we're actually able to have some quality time on a weeknight, which is awesome.
Dinner is solved with HelloFresh. Join millions of Canadians and try Canada's most recommended meal kit today.
Here's to the experiences we create, the moments we share, wherever we are. San Pellegrino. Enhance your moments.
KFC always gives you more bang for your bucket. Like more unbelievably tender fried chicken, more delicious sides, and more moments spent together. So get more bang for your bucket with the KFC $30 sharing bucket. Order on the new KFC app.
Welcome back to the Meridian Center here in St. Catharines for the CEBL Summer Series, and everybody's had to make adjustments, including and especially the officials. They've had to use the Fox 40 handheld whistle. Fantastic story here. I talked to Ron Foxcroft, the founder of the Fox 40, earlier this week. He said they've had these handheld whistles for 10 years on their shelves, mostly used for search and rescue. Now, of course, they can't keep them on the shelves. I spoke to today's crew chief, Tony Turnbull, about the biggest challenges, and he says just getting on the court and using them, he's a little bit concerned that he's accidentally going to hit the button to set it off. Hasn't happened yet, but he said we've been practicing around the house. We'll see how it goes. So far, so good. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Amy. Ron Foxcroft, boy, you talk about a guy who's been so involved in sports and has done such a great job with the Foxcroft 40. I mean, integral part of both basketball and football.
Yeah, absolutely. And the idea that this whistle is the safest form for us to have this series, that's incredible. We're very fortunate that it's that local.
6:48 remaining in the second quarter. 31-25 lead for Niagara. Jalen Babb Harrison. Screen set there by Klassen. Looking for the open man, finds Notice. 5 on the shot clock, inside, the extra pass, and it is good. And Weber gets the deuce.
Solid passing, and I'm so excited how well teams have played by putting the ball inside the post. Not the post scoring, it's the reading off of it.
31-27 Niagara. Look at the relentless D there from Weber. Mullings gave it away, and now here comes Hamilton on the run. Jalen Babb Harrison couldn't finish at the rim, and that'll be Hamilton ball.
We've had check on this here. Internal passing. Wayne makes a good cut. Reed sees the person coming. Those are tough passes, but those are field passes, and you've got to be able to, I've got to shoot to score, but in that case, he goes to score and makes the easy read.
See, Notice. Right now, Hamilton shooting 54.5% from 2. Niagara shooting 58.8% from the field. Little delay here as they adjust the clock.
On that last pass, the internal pass by Notice, a good pass is only a good pass if the person you throw it to can catch it. So in those situations, you got to throw passes that guys can easily score on that.
Notice now trying to turn the corner on Grandy Glaze. Successful. Gets it to Klassen. Notice lost the handle on it. Got it back again. Shot clock violation. And Grandy Glaze, he screams out. He's happy with his team's defense in that sequence.
Grandy Glaze is an energy guy, just like Briant, and he'll let you know it too. He gets juiced up that way.
Another good glue guy to have on your team, in your locker room. Here's Mullings. Mullings, little contact there, no call.
Big decision by Niagara there, having Mullings bring the ball up, so that way you take the Briante Weber factor out of it.
Jalen Babb Harrison launches a 3-2 strong. There's Klassen with the O-board. Couldn't finish, and then lost the ball to Trey Bell Haynes. And we got an offensive foul against Hayes.
Offensive foul called Niagara is number 2, Trey Bell.
So Dwayne Notice does a good job here. They know they're in advantage, so he's going to either try to draw the charge or commit the foul and not lose. So he makes a great job there and gets the call.
And just your overall thoughts now on Hamilton and what they've been able to do here in the second quarter. They look a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, they've got scored on because of a turnovers, but it's just been good, solid defense. This isn't, now you've got Alex Johnson and Briante Weber on the floor. The nice thing about Briante Weber is he can play both positions.
Lawson has had a very impressive first half here, the Kingston, Ontario native. And it's going to be a foul on Robertson.
That's a good experienced bait play. You know, you see it in the NBA a whole lot. He just baited him down, saw his hands down, and lifted it.
So Grandy Glaze is going to come out of the game. Trey Bell Hayes will also check out. And now Sammy Muldrow and Ryan Anderson come in for Niagara.
And the matchups there, Sam Muldrow now on Clausen is a good matchup for Sam. So I'm looking where his feet were, and I can't tell if that. It looks like they're going to give him 3 shots on that.
For the Honey Badgers.
So Weber at the line. This is the first of 3. Weber, he's got some experience, over 40 games in the NBA. Houston, Memphis, Charlotte, Golden State. So they gave him 2 shots there, so he sinks the second. 31-28 now for Niagara. Here's Robertson. Oh, nice pocket pass. And the finish at the rim by Boucard. Nice dime there by Robertson.
Yeah, and when you go into a ball screen action, it's not just to make, you have to recognize the situation. And there, Guillaume made a real nice cut there, and he was identified. But you have to recognize coming off the ball screen what the defense is doing.
Just notice, he gets stopped up. Kennedy try to hit a 3. Comes to Mullings, he'll take his time and hit things up the court here. Here's Robertson, goes cross court, catch and release, and Anderson drills that one for a triple.
And having Sam Muldrow on the floor because he can shoot the 3 helped that without being involved, just helped the spacing of the whole series.
Here's Weber working on Anderson. Klassen setting the screen for him. Look at Weber. And then Klassen right there for the tip. And Weber just trash talking with Anderson up the court here.
And showing no respect to Sam Muldrow as a shot blocker either. He's attacked him 3 times already today.
Here's Mullings now. Puts it up. Oh, he got lucky on that one. He's looking for a foul. He's not going to get it, though. Shuffle it into the corner. That hits the rim. Klassen taps it back out. Here's Notice down the lane. He gets defended by Muldrow. No, excuse me. Muldrow's going to get called for a foul.
Yeah, and that was a situation where Sam had a good opportunity to get that block shot. But it was the offensive rebound that hurt Niagara and helped Hamilton. So as Dwayne goes through there, now you're going to see Sam's got a little bit of length, just maybe gets his body. But the problem with her shot blocker is if you leave too early, you lead the other guy. So here we go, Mullings attacks it, looking for contact, but you see his focus. His focus never leaves. So it's not about, I didn't get the call, there's no foul. He still focuses and finishes. That's a tough, tough thing to do.
So there you see Dwayne Notice out of Woodbridge, Ontario, played for South Carolina. They had a run at one time.
Final Four, and he played for Coach Frank Martin, and you know, somebody who can get into you, and he's very coach-ready, and had a great career at St. Mike's for a former player of mine, Jeff Zauner.
Dwayne Notice is going to be a key figure in this summer series for this Hamilton team. Here's Robertson, stops, looking to pop a 3, and he does. Robertson's been very impressive.
And a tough shot in transition, full transition.
Coach Razzo wasn't kidding when he talked about this guy's got high-end skill. Cassius Robertson. Weber loses it, and now back the other way. Robertson, that's a deep 3. They had numbers, and the play gets whistled down.
Yeah, with the music sometimes going, we lose the whistle.
Sure what the call is.
I think the call was in the backcourt here, but it may have been a foul situation, or maybe they're cleaning up the mess.
So here's Robertson now. Being eyeballed by Iwatua. Long-range shot, no good. Oh, the tip by Edgem. Edgem hasn't had a lot of time here, but boy, he was right on the mark there.
Great offensive tip, maybe his third offensive rebound for the game, and then his defensive transition.
Watson tries to go baseline and throws that ball away.
That's a tough turnover. So watch Edgem. Shot goes up. He's expecting his players, as a great offensive rebounder, to miss the shot. He thinks everything's a miss. So now he comes from distance just to get a hand on it. And that way he doesn't get boxed out.
Good hustle right there by Ryan Edgem. Johnson, and that was a miscue there. Numbers the other way for Niagara. They can't convert. And that was Alex Johnson making a pass. Nobody was aware that he was making a pass.
I think it was a call set, just a communication error on there. And his player went down to set a pin down rather than accept the pass.
Here's Kennedy now. And that play whistled down. I don't know if he stepped out or...
You got 3 seconds in the key on that. And I think what's happening right now is this is late in the second quarter. Teams are starting to show a little bit of tired here, and we've had some sloppy turnovers the last couple possessions.
43-32 lead for Niagara. Notice trying to shut down Pinson. Watson.
2 minutes.
Here's Robertson, corner three, rattles it down, and Cassius Robertson is on fire.
And good spacing. Again, Ryan Edgem with the kick out there. Drew attention to himself and then gave him an open J.
Niagara increased the lead, 46-32. Here's Robertson. Johnson trying to contain him. Tyrone Watson, good look, off the iron and brought down. Notice, leads it, good pass there, and a finish by Weber.
Great transition. Weber came from behind guys and chased people.
Look at Weber right here, all over Anderson. Pocket pass for Edgem, gets stopped up. Loose ball, and Weber will take it. He'll push it up the court. Notice, he gets bumped there. Second chance, third chance, fourth chance, still can't put it away. And I think Notice wanted a foul call.
The guys got tired. You didn't see other people on the boards there.
Under a minute now in this first half. Watson on the post up. Spin move, gets the bucket. Tyrone Watson getting physical down low.
And that's identifying a mismatch. Tyrone had it inside, and he just wanted the basketball, and he demanded that they space it and reverse it and get it back to him.
Kennedy, little fake from the corner, and hits the side of the backboard. Things have tailed off here for Hamilton. Edgem wanted to take it to the rack. And they're going to say that's Hamilton ball.
Fortunate for Hamilton, that's two real good transition situations that Niagara had opportunities, 3-on-1, 2-on-1s, and came away with nothing. That's something that they're going to be upset about.
48-34 lead here now for Niagara.
So we got one shot here with 21 seconds to go.
Look like Niagara want to make a substitution there, and they're not going to be able to do it. So here's Notice. This will be the final action of this first half. Young comes out to set a screen. Into the corner. Johnson, no good. Loose ball. One more shot at it. No, they can't get the shot off. And that does it for the first half. And boy, Niagara really picked up the pace, and now they have a 48-34 lead here.
They certainly didn't. They did it on the defensive end. They did what Hamilton was doing earlier, but then they started knocking down some threes. I thought early in the game, I thought the Honey Badgers knocked down some threes, but because of it, they were able to spot up their shooters. Cassius Robertson is a big-time three-point shooter. Ryan Anderson, you can't leave those guys open. And what they'll try to do is create situations so that their shooters can get open with one more pass.
For Hamilton, what do you want to see them do in the second half? What do they need to adjust?
Well, I thought Hamilton played pretty well. It's the turnovers I thought that hurt Hamilton. It was the few turnovers, because the turnovers related to scores on the other end. So They just got to stay away from the turnovers. I think they're playing pretty well.
Okay, let's go to Amy Atterberg with Daniel Mullings. Amy?
Daniel, some old faces, some new faces. What were your thoughts on that first half of the River Lions?
I think it was a good first half. You know, it was tense and tight at the beginning, but as the game kept flowing on, you know, we're starting to get back into the groove and getting used to everything that we're used to.
Very humble. 14 points, 6 for 7 from the field for yourself. You look pretty comfortable. Tell us about your game out there and what you saw.
Like I said, I think I'm just easing into it. It's still a little tough. Too many turnovers for me and you know, for the team. So we got to just slow down a little bit, get more comfortable and acclimated, and we'll be all right.
Continue to ease into it. We look forward to seeing it. Thank you.
Thanks
we'll go back to you, Peter.
Thank you very much, Amy. Well, Daniel Mullings, 14-4 so far in this first half. And Niagara, they have a lead here at the break, 48-34 against Hamilton. On the other side, we'll go back to Toronto and Andy Petrillo.
Super Emma just about sleeps in her cape.
I'm Super Emma.
But when we realized she was battling sensitive skin, we switched to new Tide Plus Downy Free. It's gentle on her skin and out cleans our old bargain detergent. So she can focus on saving the world. With a little help from Dad.
New Tide Pods Plus Downy Free. Safe for sensitive skin with eczema and psoriasis.
I'm a Venus. I'm a Venus.
Here's Candace, who works from home and then works from home. But she can handle pickup even when her bladder makes a little drop off. Because Candace has poise. Poise under pressure and poise in her pants. It takes poise.
With Triangle credit cards, getting the things you need from the stores you love is easy. And now when you need it most, we're making it even easier. Credit card members can now get a 24-month equal payments plan on purchases of $150 or more online and in-store. All with no fee and no interest. And we've improved our financial relief program for those who need it. So keep doing the things you love with everything you need. Apply today at Triangle.com.
Hey, honey, can you give me a hand?
Yep.
Never mind. I got it.
PlayOLG's online casino has all your favorite jackpot slots and table games like blackjack and roulette. It's big-time fun.
Nice.
Your casino's ready. Register now at PlayOLG.ca and get a $30 sign-up bonus.
I knew from a young age I would be a storyteller. I would see and I would remember. I am Aminata Giallo. I seem to have trouble dying. By all accounts, I should not have lived this long.
This is the ledger in which you'll record the names of the Negro lawyers.
I wondered what my father and mother would tell me to do. Find your way home. I had been across the big river, and now I am back.
48-34 Niagara River Lions. Meridian Center is their home. They're leading the Hamilton Honey Badgers after 2 quarters here. As we take you to the halftime stats, you can see field goal percentage. Niagara 52% to Hamilton's 34, but keep your eye on the fast break points. 16 for Niagara to Hamilton 7. And there we see the discrepancy in the score here as we welcome you back inside our CBC Sports Studios. Andy Petrillo alongside Javon Shepard. Let's begin with the team in the lead right now. That would be Niagara. Daniel Mullings, part of that Canadian national team of the 2015 Pan Am Games who took home silver. He's leading this game right now as well with 14 points. What is he doing right?
You know what, the interesting thing is this is exactly what Niagara brought Daniel Mullings here for. He's a guy that can get all over the court, apply a lot of pressure at the rim, and he's doing that tonight. We see with his 14 points and 4 rebounds.
Yeah, he's looking real good, and things started to get sloppy as well in that first half for Hamilton, and Niagara was jumping all over that to the point where they actually sat Mullings for a bit.
Yeah, you know, he got some rest. He's going to get back into it and get back to live action. Again, he's a guy that's really going to do everything defensively and offensively. And for them to be successful, they're going to need big games from him.
Yeah, and we're watching those minutes. I know you mentioned that in the pregame show, too, when you're dealing with a 2-week type of series here. How are you going to use your big guys? When are you going to rest them? So let's turn our attention to Hamilton. They have to turn things around. Still pretty tight.
Yep.
Briante Weber has NBA experience. This is a defensive player. What do you want to see more from him to get Hamilton back in this game?
You know, I think he's doing well. He's a guy that's going to bring a lot of defensive pressure. I think what they need to do is guys on the perimeter for Hamilton need to start applying pressure and get into passing lanes in order for this team to get up and down. They're not going to be a team that's going to beat you in the half-court sets, but if they're able to get out and cause offense through their defense, they'll do well.
Yeah, he's been all over the court right now. A lot of eyes will be on Briante Weber as well as we head into that second half. We have more coming up on the halftime here. So have you heard of this thing called Elam? If you don't know what it is, we're going to be explaining it to you when we come back. Maybe you do know because it did make its debut at the NBA All-Star. We'll tell you all about it and why it could possibly cause some drama here to end this game.
New Hellmann's dressings are perfect for salads, bowls, and marinades with quality ingredients and chef-inspired flavors. New Hellmann's dressings. One dressing used 3 ways. We're on the side of food.
Every time you touch a surface, bacteria is left behind. Now consider how many times your family touches the surfaces in your home in 24 hours. Try new Microban 24 sanitizing spray. Spray on hard surfaces to kill 99.9% of viruses and bacteria initially. Once dry, it keeps killing bacteria for 24 hours, even after multiple touches. Try new Microban 24. Available in multi-purpose sanitizing and bathroom sprays. This has been Medifax for Microban 24.
From the harshest deserts comes gentle aloe. Now in the new Herbal Essences Aloe Collection. Made with real, potent, came from a plant aloe. Hand-picked and unlocked by experts at Kew Gardens. For beautifully hydrated hair.
I find for most people that sensitivity is real, and if you're not doing anything to address the problem, the condition of sensitivity can get worse. My recommendation, Sensodyne, always. There's really no reason to ignore it. Sensodyne works. It's such a simple fix.
He's right. It is disgusting.
It's nothing. It's a nail fungus infection.
Ah, it's a monster!
Come on, it's not that bad. It's contagious. You can even spread it to other people.
You should really get that checked out.
We gotta kill the monster!
It's nothing. It's an infection. You have to treat it. You need a prescription.
Nail fungus should be taken seriously. At the first signs, show it to your doctor and ask about prescription treatments that can be applied to the nail.
Did someone say free pizza? Free pizza? Oh, I guess I just did. Right now at Pizza Hut, buy one pizza and get the second free. Use code 879. I'd listen to that echo. Now that's delivering.
Head to the CBC Sports app and CBCSports.ca for all your sports news and stories. This past Thursday marked 1 year out to the Tokyo Summer Olympics, and CBC Sports had lots to share. Scott Russell spoke to Canadian chef de mission Marnie McBean about what the next games could look like and how the athletes should prepare. I hosted a panel of athletes and coaches and discussed their reactions to the delay and how they're dealing with the journey ahead. And CBC Gem launched the Olympic Channel, which will feature Olympic documentaries, athlete stories, and historical content from past game events to help get you excited about next summer. Keep connected to Canada's athletes with CBC Sports and follow the journey to July 2021 and the lighting of the Olympic flame. And don't forget, the Canadian men's basketball team still has a chance to qualify for Tokyo. Their qualifier got pushed to June 2021. As we welcome you back inside our CBC Sports studios, Andy Petrillo, Javon Shepard. Elam. You may have heard of it if you watch NBA. It debuted at the NBA All-Star Game. What is this Elam you speak of? Well, the CEBL is introducing it to their league this year. And let's take you through a little course and perhaps maybe for some of you a refresher on what it is. This is how it works. Time ends at the first stoppage in the fourth quarter at 4 minutes or less of the game clock. 9 points are then added to the leading score to create the target score. Now, this ensures that all games end on a winning basket every time. Who doesn't want that? The game ends when the target score is reached, deciding the winning team. I'm sorry, did you say drama? Because that's exactly what I like. But why do I have a feeling I know what your answer is going to be to this, Javon? When I ask you when it first debuted, did you like it or not?
You know what? I really wasn't a fan because I'm used to traditional basketball, but over time, I gained some appreciation for it. I think it's going to speed up the game as well. There's going to be every game. There's going to be a hometown hero because you're ending on a game-winning bucket.
And who doesn't want that? You want the hometown hero. We're heading into the second half in this one. Hamilton not that far behind Niagara either, so even if 9 points gets added, I mean, anything can happen in the third and fourth quarter, but we could see some drama right into the end here. So we're going to see Elam make its debut in the CEBL as we head into the second half between the Niagara River Lions and the Hamilton Honey Badgers. Right now, it's the home team, Niagara, with that lead, 48-34. More coming up as we'll take you back to the Meridian Center in St. Catharines next.
Every time you touch a surface, bacteria is left behind. Now consider how many times your family touches the surfaces in your home in 24 hours. Try new Microban 24 sanitizing spray. Spray on hard surfaces to kill 99.9% of viruses and bacteria initially. Once dry, it keeps killing bacteria for 24 hours, even after multiple touches. Try new Microban 24. Available in multi-purpose sanitizing and bathroom sprays. This has been Medifax for Microban 24.
New Tide Power Pods one-up the cleaning power of liquid.
Can it one-up whatever they're doing?
For sure.
Seriously?
One-up the power of liquid, one-up the toughest stains. Any further questions? One-up the power of liquid with New Tide Power Pods.
Patients will ask, what can I do about this? This is really sensitive. I can't have ice cream. I can't have a cold drink. The condition of sensitivity can get worse. My recommendation, Sensodyne, always. There's really no reason to ignore it. Sensodyne works. It's such a simple fix.
Here's to the experiences we create, the moments we share, wherever we are. San Pellegrino. Enhance your moments.
Cheers.
Yeah, not better.
Can't hear what you're saying.
I'm gonna roll myself up in a big ball and fly.
He's right. It is disgusting.
It's nothing.
It's a nail fungus infection.
Ah, it's a monster!
Come on, it's not that bad.
It's contagious. You can even spread it to other people.
You should really get that checked out.
We gotta kill the monster!
It's nothing.
It's an infection. You have to treat it. You need a prescription.
Nail fungus should be taken seriously. At the first signs, show it to your doctor and ask about prescription treatments that can be applied to the nail.
We know what it's like for your whole world to change overnight.
To have your life affected by circumstances beyond your control.
To experience setbacks that you never saw coming.
We know what it's like to face an uncertain future.
To not be able to put a date on things getting easier.
But we know that one day they will. We know what it's like because we are Paralympians. See you in 2021.
If you want your fill of hoops, we won't leave you hanging. Each and every game of the Summer Series is available to be streamed live all the way from the round robin to championship weekend on August 8th and 9th. To watch, go to CBC the CBC Sports app, or CBC Gem. Let's go to Amy Audebert, who's right now with Hamilton coach Ryan Schmidt.
Thanks, Andy. Coach, you guys jumped out to an early start, but now Niagara's shooting just under 53% for the field. So how do you slow it down a bit for them?
I think honestly for us, I mean, they're a good shooting team. I think for us, it was about a 4 or 5 minute stretch where you kind of had empty possessions. We missed shots or either turned the ball over and they got out in the open floor. And against a team like that, you can't do that. So I think for us on the defensive end, to be honest, it starts with our offense.
That's what I wanted to flip it to because as we know, Elam's kind of coming up quick. So how do you generate some more points and close this gap?
honestly, we just got to take care of the ball first and foremost. I honestly think we're also passing up some shots that we should be taking. And on the other side of it, we got 10 potential assists as well. So there's shots that we want to take. We're just not knocking them down.
Appreciate your time, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Back to you, Peter.
Thank you very much, Amy. And yeah, Elam is coming up as we take a look at some halftime stats. And too many turnovers for that Hamilton team in that first half, Joe.
Yeah, you know what? The 13 turnovers, and it was the points off the turnovers, 17-9 that Niagara had the lead on. But it was that second quarter. Maybe guys got tired. Niagara played 11 bodies. Hamilton played 9. And that spread happened in that second quarter. And but tired legs create sloppy legs, and they're sloppy turnovers. So I think what Ryan said was right on. I thought they missed a couple open shots they had. They had a lot of good opportunities off of assists, and I think those are shots that they'll make. I think that they'll regroup, both teams. I think the nervous energy is gone, and now they're back to playing basketball.
For Niagara, you can really see the depth that they have on their team. Edgem came in there and gave him some good minutes. He was very impressive. They've got a stacked lineup there.
You know what, and you said Ryan Edgem, he went 1 of 8 from the floor, but his plus-minus was 12, positive 12, because he gets to the boards. He stopped transition. He made things happen while he was on the floor, and we fall in love sometimes with, with the fact that he didn't score, but he was a major factor.
And also Grandy Glaze. I mean, he gave Coach Razzle some good minutes as well, as you take a look at Mullings.
We got lots of energy guys in the gym, and Grandy brings it to you from a post player position, and which is kind of unique. Yeah, no question. Guys are playing very selfless. I'm really impressed in that first half by both teams, how guys are giving it their all and passing it up and playing real tough.
And this is the first competitive game for a lot of these guys in, 6 months? Are you impressed with what you've seen so far when you take in that fact?
These guys will compete at anything.
Yeah. So we're underway. Second half action here in St. Catharines at the Meridian Center. Game number 1 of the 2020 CEBL Summer Series. Notice, stop and go. Tried to float it, that was contested, defended well. That was Sammy Muldrow right there. And that ball given away. From downtown, they missed the 3. Klassen gets the rebound. They'll get another opportunity on offense. Weber out of control, loses it. Mullings pushes it ahead. The extra pass. Robertson launches one, that's blocked. Denial by Mukama. Weber, short little mid-range. And little helter-skelter basketball, Joe, to start the second half.
But I really like the fact that Hamilton got 3 possessions on offensive rebounds early in that. And doing a good job of getting to the offensive boards.
Here's Sam Muldrow knocking it down, but there's a call. It'll be a foul on Trey Bell Hayes.
So we get back in transition, and Mukama does a great job. And then the closeout, he knows he's a shooter. Scouting report says max range shooter, get out. He wants him to drive. Great closeout.
Excuse me, my bad. Foul on Hamilton. There's Trey Bell Hayes. Mullings, 14 points, 4 rebounds in that first half. Good defense there from Klassen. Okama now, post up on Robertson. Looking for an option, no, backs his man down, knocked away off the rim.
And that's Sam Muldrow. JV knew that he had the mismatch, but he was looking where Sam was coming from.
Sam Muldrow, big man that can knock down 3s. Weber. Pocket pass inside for Klassen. Again, Sam Muldrow. Boucard also helped them out in that sequence. And here's Mullings as he gets the easy layup. And right now, Niagara really increasing the lead here, 16-point lead over Hamilton.
So it's all about transition basketball in here. So they come in, and Sam uses his length here, get the ball, and then they go. They go, and they get an easy score, quick score. Daniel running the lane on that.
There's Notice trying to drive. High glass, and Dwayne Notice will go to the line here for Hamilton, and they need to get something going here. Still plenty of ball to be played, but it's 50-34.
I like the fact that Hamilton's come out the second half and played through Owen Clausen. He did a real good job that first half. He's a good decision maker, and putting the ball in there at the high post to him, and not just for him to score, but he's a very good passer up there.
Clausen had 9 points, 5 boards in that first half. Veteran of over 200 games in Europe. Former AUS Player of the Year for the Acadia Axemen.
Nice to see a youth sports big man who was trained as well as Owen was.
His team trailing in this one. Boucard tries to round the corner, and that ball goes off a Hamilton player. So Niagara will retain possession here.
So we're in a situation there, we call that penetration reaction. He's penetrating, looking for somebody to be open, but it's the job of the receivers to be visible and not let him hang like that.
Inbounds by Robertson. Here's Edgem, had a real strong first half. We talked about him. Robertson trying to drive out of control. And that goes off a Hamilton player once again. So Niagara, they have the ball with 7 seconds left on the shot clock.
And these are things now that you haven't been together a whole lot. It's not like you're running baseline out of bounds plays. You're running them against a certain time on the clock. So it's got to be a quick hitter on this.
Bill Hayes gets it to Edgem.
And whose hands are in there?
Yeah.
Whose hand? Briante Weber. Got caught with the foul, but you know if he's on the floor, he's going to dog the ball. And that's a reset.
Robertson, no look past the inbounds. It gets it to Edgem. Inside for Boucard, and he's fouled. And Guillaume Boucard will go to the line now for the River Lions.
And there, Briante, who's so good at stealing the ball, it's a little bit of a risk reward. So you watch as he risks on it, and all of a sudden now they're scrambling for defensively, and Guillaume gets the basket. But he is so quick and so pesty on the basketball. Sometimes you got to be careful, like shot blockers, that you don't try to do it all the time.
Boucard now with 8 points in the contest. Missed the second shot. Kennedy thought about shooting and put it on the deck. Wide open look here, and knocking it down is Mukama.
And a great result for Hamilton there, getting the ball into actually a better shooter's hands, and good move by Kennedy. Even though he was open, he realized that he could draw attention and get a better shooter an open shot.
Here's Boucard against Kennedy, post up. Little short J, that is a miss, and there's Mullings cleaning things up at the rack. Boy, he's been all over it here this afternoon, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're not physical with great offensive rebounders, you're going to get yourself in trouble.
Weber converged upon into the corner. Weber puts it on the deck. Little floater, sinks it. And Weber's fouled, and he'll go to the line and try to convert on the three-point play. No, they're waving the bucket off, excuse me.
Yeah, got him on the ground. But you notice these were shots that Hamilton was taking real early. Now they're looking for... So penetration, punch out, looks to kick it in, and Daniel Mullings goes for the little wraparound steal. Good call.
So foul before he got the shot off. Mukama will inbound the ball here. Puts it in the hands of Weber. Notice trying to come off the screen. Hand off now to Weber. Weber, stop and go, spin move, fade away. That shot no good, and now Robertson will get it over the timeline for Niagara. And they're going to call a foul here against Hamilton.
Okay, so on this, watch for Daniel Mullings. He's always moving, and he's looking for a quick little miss. Look where he is, smallest man. Nobody's got their body on him, and he gets a freebie.
So Kennedy got called for the foul there, and he'll come out of the contest. CEBL Hayes receives that pass. That rattles up. Mullings right there. Gets the rebound. Hayes again from the corner. This time he sinks it for 3.
CEBL Hayes with the corner 3.
And Niagara on that play took advantage again of Briante trying for the steal.
Inside for Boucard. Window went in, and now Niagara really imposing their will on this Hamilton team.
Good job in offensive transition.
Hamilton.
So Trey's done a real good job of seeing guys open. He probes, makes them play him, and then the pass off.
Niagara flexing their muscles here in St. Catharines.
Are your allergies keeping you from finishing the job? Try Flonase Allergy Relief. Like some pills, Flonase relieves all your worst allergy and sinus symptoms, and just one dose lasts a full 24 hours. Flonase.
No matter how you sleep, you're protected with Always Overnight pads. With a back that's 2 times larger for up to 10 hours of protection. So be a flamingo or a gecko with up to 100% leak-free nights, always.
Here's to the experiences we create. The moments we share. Wherever we are. San Pellegrino. Enhance your moments.
Can't get to the salon? You can still look and feel your best with Finishing Touch Flawless Brows. The precision hair remover that painlessly sweeps away unwanted brow hair. No redness or irritation. Salon-style results at home. Available at fine retailers everywhere.
Welcome back to the Meridian Center here in St. Catharines. Niagara up 58-39. And Joe, some CEBL rules here for this summer series.
Yeah, these are FIBA rules that we're used to playing here now. So we got 5 timeouts, and the key thing is that you can only carry 3 into the second half. So you have to use up 2 in the first half, and only 2 into Elam time. That's real unique. And then offensive goaltending. Once the ball hits the rim, you can play off of it. And you saw that earlier where Sam Modrow knocked one off the basketball there. And then you can't throw the ball in the backcourt. From a set play from the baseline out of bounds or sideline out of bounds, it can't go in the backcourt. So these are FIBA rules that we've now been accustomed across the country and playing, and I think has helped develop our game.
And you know, we're so NBA-centric sometimes that we forget about these FIBA rules, and when you go to a FIBA game, you have to remind yourself about these different rules.
What I like to tell people is we're playing by the world's rules. And I think not only are they good rules, but they help develop it, because you have to think on the court. You can't be saved by timeouts all the time. I think it helps develop players' skills and aptitude.
Mullings is replaced by Dorian.
Daniel Mullings. He's going to take a rest right now, as he should. He's got 18 points. He leads all scorers in this game. Young Boucard trying to shut down Weber. Weber off-balance shot. Missed that one. Loose ball. Bodies go flying all over the place. That's Klassen and CEBL Hayes going for a dive.
And we've got a lot of real good defensive players all over the floor. Guillaume Boucard has always been a great defensive player. And you saw there against Briante Weber, he used his length so that he can create a little bit of spacing with them.
Here's CEBL Hayes. That's a kick ball as that went off the feet there of Briante Weber.
And you notice as the game goes on, it's just natural, you get tired. Briante Weber, as good as he is, can't put the ball pressure he did early in the game. He's got to pick his spots.
Weber with 9 points so far in this game and 3 boards. Hayes, he tried to go cross-court, active hands there by Klassen. Here's Johnson now taking it to the 10, and he is fouled. And Alex Johnson, who's actually a member of this Niagara team, he's been loaned out to the Hamilton team. He'll go to the line.
But it starts with Owen Klassen. Owen Klassen's playing the spacing, he's reading, he's talking. You try to throw, he uses his length, gets his hand on it, saves the basketball, and starts an easy transition. So that's what Coach was talking about earlier about defense to offense. Those are good scores, good attacks, and it started because somebody did their job defensively.
So Boucard will check out for Niagara. He's had a very strong game. Let's see. Cody John is going to make an appearance here for Hamilton. Loose ball, the miss, and Klassen puts it away.
We got a foul on Klassen. It's one of the great things, well, one of the things you have to work on. When you're boxing out, a lot of people don't box, they step in. And that time, Ryan Edgem stepped up the lane and forced Owen to go over his back. So Ryan Edgem, again, technically sound, making the right play, smaller guy against the big guy.
It's Klassen, he comes out of the contest now for Hamilton. And now Niagara, they're into the bonus.
Ryan Edgem shooting 2-4-9.
As a matter of fact, both teams now are into the bonus here with 5:10 remaining in the third.
One of the things I thought we'd see in this series, because guys are starting to get a little tired early, you know, we've had a couple guys miss some free throws early in this, and maybe just rust or whatever.
That ball knocked off the rim, and now here's Weber, full tilt down the lane, puts up the floater, and Weber will make a return trip to the charity stripe.
So that last play by JV was exactly what I talked about. We were playing above the rim. He's sitting there, he leaves his spot, the ball hits the rim, it looks like it could roll in, and he swipes it off. Now the only problem with that is, if he would have knocked it in, it would have been worth 2.
That's one of those FIBA rules, right?
Yes, and so he did a great job in his length and his ability to get up there and swat it away.
Here's Weber to the line. Weber, he doesn't stay quiet. I mean, you just pull the string out of his back and he goes the whole day.
I wonder if he was on the debating team at VCU.
But it was so nice to see him at practice. I mean, here's a guy, he's played in the show, yet he goes around, he's talking to the young guys, giving advice, a real team guy.
You know what, you can see here's a guy who's been in the NBA but plays with joy to be here. And that says a lot about him and a lot about the series.
Kraus, court pass, gets to Trey-Bell Hayes, and he lays it in. That was quite the pass there by Pinson. Teresa misses the 3. Pinson has the board. Hayes puts it up. Can't get the finish. Weber goes for a tumble. He gets the rebound, though. Kama. Little up fake, and he turns the ball over, but hold on a second, he was fouled. So things, again, getting a little sloppy here.
Yeah, they are, you know, teams are doing a good job of transition. So check this left-handed pass. I'd say it's pretty fortunate to go across court like that, but he saw him and he had a lot of trust. And then Trey is really good. He's a small guy, but he's really good at getting to the rim and finishing.
So Hayes is going to come out, and Cash Robertson will come in. Robertson, as we mentioned, he signed a contract to play in the fall in the top league in Spain. And boy, you've got to have some tools to the game if you're playing in that league, one of the better leagues in the world.
Yeah, he's going to Albradero in the ACB, and that's a huge league. But he came from a very good league in Italy and did great in Bologna. So, you know, credit to him.
Offensive foul against Pinson. Laid the shoulder into Weber.
So Niagara, same thing that happened earlier. They like Alex Johnson on Pinson. Pinson's walking the ball up the court, advantage Johnson. So if you sprint up the court, it's harder to have somebody pick your pocket. And that, he just got in his face and in his space.
As you take a look at Coach Schmidt trying to find some answers, trying to get his team back into this one. 60-43 in favor of Niagara. Swing it over here for Johnson. Nice feed, Weber. No, nothing going here offensively for Hamilton. And Coach Rasso wanted a foul here. Is he going to get his wish?
You had somebody pulled from behind there on that. You're trying to seal him inside. Stopped the layup. It looked like inside. But because Niagara player came down, had a real good seal, in this case Ryan Edgem, first guy down the court, and got fouled, and therefore it looked like a bad play.
Ryan Edgem, he's been a workhorse here in terms of coming in and giving good minutes for Coach Razzo.
Yeah, and it doesn't show on his scoring right now, but he's done all those other things, and I like to look at that plus minus when he's on the floor, and good things have happened.
And they get the rebound. There's Edgem again. Pinson, he can't hang on to it. Back the other way on the run is Hamilton. And Kennedy puts it away.
Yeah, a little sloppy there by Niagara. They had a second chance on that rebound, and guys were standing around.
Back to Edgem. He was part of that Saskatchewan team that won the first title in this league. And there's Robertson. Drills it from deep.
Wow, that is a tough step back with somebody in your face. That's just confident. That's crazy confidence.
64-45. And we got a foul here.
Blocking foul on the Riverliners number 4, Dorian Pinson.
That's Dorian Pinson. That'll go against Pinson.
Randy Glaze replaces Ryan Edgem.
What I like about Hamilton right now, they're grinding. They're going to break this thing through. They're going to get it back down, get to a point where in the Elam time, they're going to be set up there. They're doing a real good job of just grinding and staying in it. They're not, the shots haven't fallen for them right now, but you can sense they're playing good defense, they're staying confident, and they're around.
Second shot here at the line for Derisa. He gets both of them. Okay, let's throw it over to Amy Adderberg right now.
So there's a situation.
Yeah, the Hamilton Honey Badgers are certainly missing that man right there, Derek Cook, who is one of their better players. He's not playing today. He was one of the players in the league that had to quarantine for a little over 14 days. And so at 6'9", he's got a bigger body. He certainly feels a little bit of stiffness still. I talked to Derek and I talked to Ryan Schmidt yesterday, and they both agreed they want him to feel healthy. They want him to feel like he's ready to go. I'm sure they'd love him to check it right now, but it goes to the Hamilton Honey Badgers philosophy, which is players first. He's a professional basketball player. His livelihood is his body, and so they are letting him get back into the game.
Thank you very much, Amy. Yeah, yesterday in practice, he wasn't really part of the full workout. He was kind of shooting on his own. You could tell he was going about things gingerly, so he's not 100%. They need him, though.
And he will definitely be one of the best athletes in this tournament. Long guy who can fly.
Here's Robertson. Tried to make a pass, try to force one. Hamilton's got numbers the other way. Cody John taking it to the rack, and he's fouled by Pinson.
And I love what Hamilton, this grind of Hamilton right now. And I think Niagara's a little bit got caught playing to the score, not playing the way they were. Different ball handlers, bad decisions, no spacing, things that they did well. And Hamilton just grinding and grinding. And we've got ourselves a ball game.
So timeout called by Niagara. They're in firm control of this game, 64-49. And this Niagara team, as we said, plenty of depth, and they've been getting a lot of scoring in the paint.
Yeah, and this is a gut check time. This is like, whoa, guys, hold on. This is who we are, and all of a sudden now we've been playing lots of sloppy basketball and getting ourselves in trouble. There's a great take. Those were things that we did, and that was because of a great steal. Spacing, these are things that Niagara's not doing right now. They are doing the transition when they get the opportunity.
Okay, let's send it back now to Amy Adderberg round. Okay, let's send it over now to Amy Adderberg right now.
Yeah, so yesterday I talked to Victor Razzo about the mentality of this Riverlines team. Don't forget, they lost in the finals last year, and they returned that big core. And he said that is certainly something that they are still talking about. Ryan Anderson has been very vocal about that. In fact, the message to the team this year is, listen, we did everything right last year, and we still lost. So we have to do everything right again. But this year, this summer series is about going and taking it. It's certainly the way they've come out in this first game. Pete?
Thank you very much, Amy. Yeah, when I was talking to Coach Razzo, I mean, he said that the focus of this team in the training camp was just unbelievable. They've come back this season. They're on a mission. They want to redeem themselves for losing last season. And boy, what a great season they had. They were 15-5 overall, 8-2 at home, 7-3 on the road. They averaged the most points per game, 100.3. So they had everything going for them, but that's one of those things that happen in pro sports, a one-game elimination situation, and anybody can win.
And I think the comfort of and that's why a lot of those players are back. they enjoyed the experience, they enjoyed playing for each other, but the fact that they gave so much of themselves and they weren't successful was more reason for them to come back together as a core.
And when you see this team at practice, they are highly focused. There's Tyrone Watson back into the game. Anderson readjustment, launches one, looking for three, missed it. This is Locke Lamb, he comes into the game. Pass to Watson, the feed to Grandy Glaze, the finish at the rim.
Good transition. Emmanuel Uwatua out there, a true youth sports player. One of our developmental players in this tournament who's out there with a big play.
And DeRisa shoots over the top of Grandy Glaze and hits the triple.
That's what he can do. He's a confident, solid shooter, and on all the shots he's taken today have been good shots. That one goes down.
66-54 for Niagara. Hamilton trying to make a little bit of a comeback here. This is Mullings, gets double teamed. Uwatua can't get it, and then tipped in by Mullings. Just simply relentless, Joe.
And coming from the perimeter. That's a guard not doing their job boxing out because they're not used to having people come from the perimeter like that.
And then Cody John, he tumbles into Anderson.
Foul, Niagara's number 0, Daniel Mullings. His 4th foul.
So Mullings gets called for the foul, his 4th of the contest. He's going to have to come out, and Dorian Pinson will check in.
Replaces Daniel Mullings.
And that's a big foul, number 4, on a guy who's been doing so much for you right now.
Cody John, shooting 2.
John gets the shooter's roll there on the first of 2. John, he played his NCAA ball at Weber State. Another homegrown product. They get the rebound here on the miss. Cody John, that's in and out. 68-55. Hamilton, they need some stops here now, Joe.
And they're doing a real good job.
Grandy Glaze, that's really not his game. They get the rebound, though. And a foul against Hamilton.
Hamilton's doing a real good job of forcing Niagara to make bad decisions. Like they're playing against their strength. They're saying, okay, there's a shot early in the clock when you got Ryan Anderson on the floor. We got Randy Glaze taking a deep 3. That's because Hamilton's done a nice job and said, okay, we're taking everything else away right now. Play to your weakness.
So Pinson will go to the line.
Shooting 2.
Makes the first of 2. And Pinson out of Greenville, South Carolina. Went to Lincoln Memorial University. He played in Israel last year. Averaged 13.4 points, 7.4 boards in Israel.
And a great story. Small college guy who got better. He's very young. And he's just done a great job. And some guys flourish in that environment because he's kind of plays a bunch of different positions. He's not your prototypical four-man.
70-55, under a minute here in the third quarter. Here's Notice. Hamilton trying to go 2 for 1. No, that's not going to happen. Here's Ty Watson. A little bit of pressure, he breaks out of it. Uwatua gets it to Glaze. Glaze with a throwdown. And Glaze, he gets everybody at that Niagara bench on their feet.
But that started with Tyrone Watson. You know, again, a big guy can handle a bunch of positions, made a real good decision, got the ball to a guy who's going to make the final decision.
So it looked like Hamilton was going to get on a little bit of run and close the gap, and then Niagara comes right back.
So Ryan Anderson finds it, you get to the middle of the floor, you cause the defense to collapse, and then you find the open man. Nice job by Emmanuel Uwatua.
You see Randy Glaze. Played last season in Edmonton. "17 seconds now remaining in this third quarter. Here comes the press here from Hamilton. Uwatua, good job by Niagara to break out of it. In the corner, wide open look for Anderson. Makes a triple over the ice. Here's Johnson, floater. Can't get it to go, and that does it for 3 quarters. And boy, Niagara really coming on here, 75-57. Mullings has been outstanding. They've gotten contributions from everybody. We'll see if Hamilton can close things down here in the 4th quarter.
Super Emma just about sleeps in her cape.
I'm Super Emma.
But when we realized she was battling sensitive skin, we switched to new Tide Plus Downy Free. It's gentle on her skin and out-cleans our old bargain detergent. So she can focus on saving the world. With a little help from Dad. New Tide Pods Plus Downy Free. Safe for sensitive skin with eczema and psoriasis.
With Insalatissime Rio Mare, eating well Italian style is easy. Only high-quality tuna, selected legumes and vegetables, many delicious recipes to eat everywhere. Insalatissime Rio Mare, real Italian taste.
What would John Molson do to help bring Canadians together? He'd raise one to the home brews, the micro brews, and all the good people brewing great brews. He'd celebrate all Canadian beer. He'd make it Canadian.
Daniel Mullings, 20.7 rebounds so far in this game. Having a little bit of a rest. Boy, he's been a monster, Joe.
And he scored every which way. He made an early 3. But on the offensive rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds turned into 6 points that he gets. Runs the lanes, he creates contact, and he's always moving.
And let's take a look at some stats from this game after 3 quarters and look at that. Niagara shooting 53% from the field. That's an impressive number.
Yeah, and then a lot of it's impressive is when you're scoring layups off of turnovers. That makes that inflates that just a little bit. But they are shooting the ball real well, and they're making their open shots.
Coach Razzo said he didn't know if his team was going to be a good shooting team this season. Well, they're shooting the ball very well here this afternoon in the first game of the 2020 Summer Series. Johnson trying to set things up. Into the corner now, Darissa for 3. That's in and out.
And that's good offense by Hamilton, unfortunate, because that's the right shooter at the right time.
Darissa looks really comfortable now. Missed a lot of time. Skilled player. Let's see what he can do in this tournament. There you go. That's what Trey Bell Hayes can do. Takes it right to the rim. Off the glass and in.
Yeah, made a real good read there. Great spin move. Great spin move and under control all the way.
Johnson crossover. Notice can't pull the trigger. Wants to drive in the lane. Stopped up. Mukama hits back iron. They get a second chance opportunity. Here's Kennedy. This time they make it go.
Yeah, second chance opportunity. You called it. Get tired out there. You let long rebounds go.
17-point lead here for Niagara. Watson. Trey Bell Hayes. Try to go opposite corner.
So check out Trey here. He makes contact and then he spins away from it. But he invites the contact. Real good, solid. And nice footwork on the spin move. Contact, get to his body, spin, create space, looking to score.
Real table setter, Trey Bell Hayes. And talking to Coach Razzo, says he's really improved his shooting. He'll be a big part of his team in the 2020 Summer Series. Johnson, pocket pass to Klassen. Tried to get it to Notice. They got their wires crossed, and that ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, and that was just a tough turnover because in that case, you're setting up for the shot. You got to be visible to the player, and he was. It was just the pass was off target.
Just a reminder, at the 4-minute mark, we get the Elam ending. That's going to create a lot of excitement here in this 2020 Summer Series. Here's Sammy Muldrow from downtown, missed that one. Who's got it? That'll be Hamilton ball.
And that's Sam's game, and so right now it looks like he's a little tired, whatever, short on it. But if you're going to give him that, playing with fire.
10-year pro, his 5th season with his Niagara team, Sam Muldrow. Notice off the mark, loose ball. Mukama, he tried to jam it and came up short.
And Dwayne Notice, another alumnus of University of South Carolina, like Sam Muldrow. Yeah, Sam's got length on him and real good timing. He was the Southeast Conference Defensive Player of the Year.
There's Anderson. He created some contact there, and he'll go to the line.
That was veteran on veteran. You saw Weber do that earlier. Because Weber's trying to fight over that screen, because he's trying to fight over the screen, there's contact. Ryan Anderson knows he's coming, stops and leans into him.
Anderson, he shot 86% from the free throw line last season. Interesting story about Anderson. Back in prep school, he beat Kevin Durant in a three-point shooting contest. Imagine doing that. If you got a trophy for that, you put that prominently in your living room somewhere.
Yeah, and Ryan at Nebraska was a deep set shooter, like deep shooter, and he's done a great job in his career. And Guy loves playing in Canada and loves being in Canada.
We talked about how infectious Weber is, and he's happy, smiling, talking to everybody. Ryan Anderson is the same way, helping out the young guys. Real good teammate. That shot no good. Watson brings down the board. Here's Weber now on Watson. Into the corner, catch and release. No, too strong there from Robertson. Weber, windowing in.
Weber off the glass.
And Weber, he's got 15 points in this contest. Sam Muldrow. Anderson, that's in and out of his hands quickly. On the miss, comes to Notice. He wants to go downhill and gets fouled by Watson.
Yeah, and good defense by Hamilton. Good rebounding by Hamilton. And then you've got a tired Niagara River Lion team out there. And Tyrone reaches in because he's trying to stop the transition, but he's tired. They need substitutions.
And I would imagine at this point in the game, got 6:42 remaining. When you haven't played in 6 months, you can practice all you want. The legs get kind of heavy. You get the lungs kind of burn a little bit more.
Yes, sir.
Weber can't get it, gets his own rebound. Missed on the putback, but he's fouled.
Hamilton's doing a good job of winning the second chance baskets in this half. And they're just going after stuff. So here he goes up and gets it, and he just attacks the basket. He scored against bigs four different times so far in this game that I can remember.
Weber, shooting two.
Weber to the line. And Weber, he played on some of those real innovative VCU teams.
I know why Shaka Smart guarded him, because he was the perfect VCU player. Just goes after it all the time.
79-64 lead for Niagara. Couple of minutes away from the Elam ending. Edgem, he can't drive. Oh, nice pocket pass. No, I thought it was a good pocket pass. Turnover, and Weber comes back and deposits the deuce.
Hamilton doing a real good job of putting that pressure back on the basketball, and all of a sudden you don't have that flow and movement that Niagara had early in the game.
Edgem launches one, missed. Notice brings down that board. Notice going to the rack and getting two.
Notice.
So now Hamilton trying to make a run here.
And doing a real good job of scoring off of defense to offense. Creating bad shots, getting hands in the lanes, easy scores.
Easy bucket, that's right, Joe. Right there by Weber.
New Hellmann's dressings are perfect for salads, bowls, and marinades. With quality ingredients and chef-inspired flavors. New Hellmann's dressings. One dressing used 3 ways. We're on the side of food.
I'm a Venus. I'm a Venus. happiness.
Super Emma just about sleeps in her cape.
I'm Super Emma.
But when we realized she was battling sensitive skin, we switched to new Tide Plus Downy Free. It's gentle on her skin and out-cleans our old bargain detergent. So she can focus on saving the world. With a little help from Dad. New Tide Pods Plus Downy Free. Safe for sensitive skin with eczema and psoriasis.
Dwayne Notice, 6'3", combo guard, Hamilton Honey Badgers. University of South Carolina, Woodbridge, Ontario, and shout out to my dad, Paul Notice.
And Dwayne Notice, when I talked to Coach Schmidt, he says when he plays for 905, he plays off the ball. He wanted it in this summer series to have the ball in his hands just a little bit more. That's happened here this afternoon. He's looking very comfortable.
Yeah, and he's always been a great grinder and a physical player. And now he's a much better shooter than he was. He's a huge part of what this is, and they can trust him with his decisions.
His team down here, 79-68, 5:48 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Anderson, or excuse me, that's Robertson with the floater. And Robertson having a strong game as well.
And that's what you want as a coach. You want to come up with an after timeout situation and run a solid play.
Robertson with 14 points, 3 boards and 5 dimes. JV Okoma gets it inside. Oh, and that's a foul there on Clausen. And that foul will go against Pinson.
Nice job by JV to post up. And he took advantage of help coming from Niagara, coming a little bit too early. A bluff maybe would have been better for Niagara, but complete committal, pass off. And Clausen ends up with an easy chance at a dunk. But nice read by JV in the post. So he can score from the 3 and make good decisions inside.
Okama's had a real good game as well. 9 points in the game, 5 boards for Hamilton. Robertson. Shot too strong there from Pinson. There's Weber. Stops up. Little floater, left it short. Pinson, the feet to edge him, and he puts it away. Little breakdown in the D there from Hamilton.
Yeah, they stopped on the play a little bit on it.
And Classic comes right back, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line and try to convert on the 3-point play.
The hardest ball screen to stop. The hardest ball screen to stop is a ball screen in transition. So all of a sudden there's no help, nobody's tagging, and all of a sudden you got an easy 2-man game, one little mental mistake, and Owen Clausen got the roll. And that came early in the offense where the defense wasn't set to help on that.
So Clausen to the line. 4:37, Elam ending just around the corner. Here's Weber, and he'll get tagged with a foul.
Pushing foul for Weber.
So now timeout called here, and both teams will talk things over.
Hamilton Honey Badgers.
So 83-71, and Robertson, real good game for Niagara. And right now, Coach Schmidt, some of the things he needs to do here, try to close the gap.
So right now, he's dealing with like a 32-second. He wants a sprint right here. He knows that we're going to get immediate timeout for Elam coming up, or there's going to be another timeout coming once we get to Elam time. So what he's trying to do with his guys right now, he's saying, listen, we've got a small plan. We've got 30, 40 seconds here, a couple possessions. Let's finish off Brewell defensively. Let's get ourselves a score, and then we'll get something we can play with. But it's really important. He just kind of sensed his guys were getting a little bit tired, and he just wanted to make sure that he's got them regrouped. This next session of play until the timeout comes, he wants to be able to control that.
Okay, Niagara shooting over 36% from beyond the arc. We'll take a look at some of their work from downtown here this afternoon.
Yeah. Balance open shots And if you can create it for somebody else, and in some cases, Cassius Robertson's been able to create it off the dribble. But it's the number of guys that can knock it down that make it real tough to defend this team.
Team's 8 of 22 from beyond the arc in this game.
The key thing, and that's a familiarity about this team, is you know who's the better shooter than you. You know, and common sense says if you can get to somebody who's a little bit better than you, get it to them.
Daniel Mullings, 1 of 2 from beyond the arc. Helpoed in that three-point category for Niagara. Klassen trying to contain Tyrone Watson. Watson trying to set a screen. Double team there on Trey Bell Hayes, and he loses the ball.
And that was the timeout. That was the play. Here we are. We're going to blitz you on the next ball screen. We're going to blitz. We're going to do it. Great job in getting what they wanted out of that.
Are we going to see a lot of press here now from Hamilton? Up-court pressure. Loose ball, Trey Bell.
I don't know if you're going to see lots of pressure, but they're just going to try to run control.
And Guillaume Boucard goes for a tumble, and he's fouled.
So here we got real nice transition here. You draw the man towards you, and now you're able to pass off. And the only defense they have is the foul.
Boucard to the line.
So what we do know is, because it's 4:01, the next stoppage of play will lead into a timeout, and then the Elam score will start then.
So Boucard makes the first of 2. And with this Elam ending, we're going to get a hero every single game. 85-71 in favor of Niagara. Good footwork there from Boucard trying to stop Weber. Notice now, he needs some help. Klassen's going to come up and set a screen. Notice now, loses the handle on it. Good defense there from Niagara. Trey Bell Hayes back the other way, and Hayes rolls off the rim. Put back by Boucard, no good. John now, wide open for 3. Misses, and Robertson has the board. Hayes on the drive, and that's going to be a foul. I think it's going against Klassen.
And that's a huge play, because not only does it stop the play where you've got a little bit of helter-skelter going out there, but you've now drawn a foul on one of their best defenders. And again, Trey gets to the middle, draws the contact, and is looking for the 2.
So Trey Bell Hayes to the line.
So if you notice the situation now, because we're going into the Elam time, there's nobody lined up beside him, because we're going into a technical timeout here. So the timeout's been predetermined. Now the Elam's time will start at 3:10. If that was a miss, it still would start at 3:10, and Hamilton would have got the ball underneath the basket.
Okay, let's explain the Elam ending, because I'm sure there's a lot of people still not too sure on what it really means. Joe?
So the Elam ending is about target score. So right now, Niagara has 87. We add 9 points to the 87, right? And now we get to 96. 96 becomes our target. If you score 96 or above that, you win the game. So the game will end not with the clock, but it'll end at anybody scoring the 96 points. So it's really important. Now, the other thing that goes on with it is, in the Elam time, we've adapted the FIBA last 2 minutes of the Elam time. And part of that Elam time, the last 2 minutes, are you get situations where if you get a timeout, you can bring the ball to the front court. If you get scored upon, you can call a substitution. So these are FIBA rules that would end up in the last 2 minutes. The CEBL has decided to adapt those rules in the final 4 minutes, or in this time, Elam time. So right now, we're playing a 96, and both teams know that, and you know that in the park when you play, and you know when you're playing 21, and you know it all the time. We're used to doing this, and 3-on-3 plays to 21, and these guys have played the target score their entire game. At first, the traditionalists we're not crazy about it. But when you watch it, the psychology of this, which I find fascinating, is are you playing to win or are you playing not to lose? And once you start playing not to lose, all hell can break loose.
NBA used it in the All-Star Game TBT tournament that took place in Columbus just recently. They used it. So it's become popular.
Yeah, and the big difference between the TPT and the CEBL is, in the TPT, if you get fouled away from the ball, it's a shot and you get the ball back. Here we're playing regular FIBA rules. If it's a 2-shot, if you're in the bonus, it's 2 shots, it's 2 shots. You're not getting the ball back. There's nothing different about how it's going to be refereed.
So that's it for the clock. The clock is off. And we're going to play to 96, whoever can get there first. First game of the 2020 Summer Series. And just a reminder, folks, another game coming up. You'll see the expansion Ottawa Black on the Guelph Nighthawks. That'll be our second game of the afternoon. So here we go. Elam ending underway.
And the important thing about the Elam ending is you don't have to score in bunches. You just have to stay focused.
There's Weber trying to break down his man Boucard. Then Weber lost the ball. Boucard there. And then he gives it away. Here's Weber trying to wipe some of the perspiration off his hands. They swing it. Johnson drains a three.
Johnson from downtown.
And a pesky situation there. Hamilton lost the ball, got it back, and nice job on their scramble.
87-74. On the drive, that is beautiful from Robertson.
And the spacing from Niagara gave Cassius that lane.
Johnson sets up, notice in the corner. Mukama overshot that. And Mullings, he'll take his time here.
Quick.
Robertson. Mid-range. Missed that. They get the offensive board. Boucard. Watson on the inside. And that was defended very well. Coach Razzo, he wanted a call, not going to get it.
Now, Owen Clausen held his ground and stayed long. And anticipated the shot.
And Weber, that's a deep three, and he rattles it down. Triple hold the ice there for Hamilton.
That's one of those threes where you're thinking, no, yes, if you're the coach.
Good start here in Elam for Hamilton. Trey Bell Hayes comes right back and replies with a three of his own.
So two guys who are not known for scoring threes did a real nice job.
Here's Notice, little crossover. Klaassen, he's open. And Klaassen with a three. That's really not his game, but puts it away.
Listen, Niagara's playing a dare you defense right now, giving guys open looks.
92-80 now for Niagara. They get a stop there. Here's Weber leading the pack. Shuffle it in the corner. Johnson, another three. This team is red hot. Niagara calls a timeout. Hamilton and Elam, they've come on strong here.
And done a good job. Nice draw and kick. Dwayne Notice has done a real good job of finding shooters. He's been finding guys, and he hasn't knocked down a three. And then in transition, getting to your spots, getting to your spaces, and there's Mukara knows that Johnson's in the corner, and bang, he throws to Alex. This is a good shooting lineup that Hamilton has, and what they're decided they're going to attack Elam with lots of threes.
Listen,
you know, one of the good things too, if you're trailing, you don't have to worry about the clock. The clock's not going to run out on you, though.
No. So the clock, that's it. Like there's no reason to rush. That's what I like about it. Like in all those situations, you're playing flow, you're playing tempo. You're not going to be, the clock's not going to be the situation that you're going to. And the other part about it is that's unique is this is not a time to play guys garbage minutes. You want your best guys in Elam time. Right. And then you notice what Niagara did early was and even now, they've saved Daniel Mullings with 4 fouls because they wanted him for this time of this part of the game.
There you see Mullings There's Johnson there. He's had a very good game for Hamilton. So Hamilton making a little bit of run here in Elam.
And look at the Hamilton lineup here. All guys with length, not a lot of girth except for, for Dwayne, but all guys who can knock down the three.
You see the Elam score, the target score, 96 points here. And right now Niagara 4 points away, but Hamilton making a charge. And now another timeout called.
So we've got one timeout left now for both teams, and you get 2 timeouts that if you have them, you can carry them over. That's why Hamilton called that timeout with 4:32, because they were going to lose the timeout. So they decided that, that's what that was their plan. So now what they wanted to see is they wanted to see what's Niagara going to do. They're in a target score, so they wanted to see who the lineup was. All of a sudden, maybe they didn't realize that Mullings was coming in. They didn't like a matchup, so now they used their timeout. So that was a defensive timeout after Niagara used theirs.
So a little bit of a chess match going on here in Elam. And Hamilton been able to hit some trays to get back into it. Take a look at their work from beyond the arc here in the last little while.
On offensive rebound, they created that situation for themselves, but they find it's always one more pass. If you notice, everything's one more pass to a better, more open shooter. And so it's balanced and in your range. Good draw, great kick, bingo. And it doesn't matter who the shooter is as long as they're balanced and they can knock down within their range. And now there's a little bit of momentum happening for Hamilton.
And that's what Coach Schmidt said. He said that this is a team that plays very unselfish basketball, and you saw right there as they knocked down some threes. 7 on the shot clock here. From the corner, Robertson sinks it.
And the decision to go through Tyrone Watson there as the matchup on a small lineup is tough because he's so physical in the post.
So right now Niagara 2 away from winning this game. Okama, low post. Get it across for Johnson, puts it on the deck, throws it into the corner. Back to Johnson, floater, no. Left that one way short.
That was a shot clock. Good defense by Niagara. Niagara decided we're not allowing people to draw and kick. Stay with your guy.
Look at the handle here on Robertson. Having said that, he loses it. Notice, looking for 3 off the target.
And that was a good 3. He was wide open. They've got to take them. And
there's Traybell Harris under pressure. Tried to get it to Watson, who was deflected away.
Yeah, so right now, Niagara's situation, a 3 wins the game for them. 2 wins the game for them, or in a situation. So the target score is 96, but you can go above it.
So Niagara, they want to call a timeout and draw something up here, try to end this game.
So this would be equivalent to the last opportunity.
Let's take a look now at Cassius Robertson and his jump shot.
He's been really, really good in this time. And that jump shot, here's a 3-point shooter. He looked at that closeout, and he did a real nice job of the ability to shoot the 3, had the closeout coming, and then one dribble gets himself a balance 2.
My first time watching this young man, Cassius Robertson, boy, there's a lot to like in this guy.
Well, if you check YouTube, and you watch him at the NBA Summer League last year, he's got a great little highlight package for the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, he played briefly here last season with Niagara, and then the Hornets came calling, went to the Summer League, and as you said, he really impressed a lot of people.
And he stayed here and trained. When all that good thing was happening, he likes this community, he likes these guys, he likes his coaching staff, and he's used them to make himself better.
Gonna head to Spain in the fall and play some pro ball there.
Tough place to inbound the basketball, and this is one of the things that may have led to the timeout, because you're in the corner and you don't have a lot of set plays for that. Now being on the sideline, you cannot throw the ball in the backcourt.
So that ball deflected out. Traybell Hayes will inbound the ball, gets it to Robertson. Robertson up high. Watson trying to set a screen. Robertson on the drive. Oh, big time block. Was that Weber? I think he got a mid on that one.
Oh, absolutely, that was him. And he'll let you know he got it too.
Weber wanted to make a pass. And he got caught in between there.
So defensively, Weber's off the basketball, gets caught on it, and keeps his eye on it, and makes a great read.
Whoa. He got up there.
Yeah, it is the potential game-saving blocks, not just the game winners, but in that case, he stopped one.
You throw it up high here for Notice. Notice on the drive on Watson. Watson, he D'd up there. Loose ball, who's got it? And that's going to be Niagara ball.
Those two players are two of the most physical players you'll ever play against, and they have no quit in either of them. Tyrone Watson and Dwayne Notice.
Watson just a pro's pro. Here's Watson, gets it up the court. Inside for Mullings, no, comes off the rim. Here's Weber, shuffles it off for Notice. No, misses that one. Notice has been a little cold of late. And that's going to be a foul against Hamilton. Going to be a foul against Johnson.
Hamilton holding foul, number 3, Alex.
So we're shooting 2 now, and any combination of these two going in, that's right, that's the game.
Yeah. So Trey Bell Hayes will go to the line.
Trey Bell Hayes shooting 2.
A little bit more pressure now, because now you got an opportunity to get the game winner.
And makes the first of 2, and this could be the game right here. As you take a look at head coach Vic Grasso, he's got to be happy with the performance from his team here this afternoon. And let's see, is this the game? No, it isn't.
Great play by J.V. Mukama coming off that. He had nothing to lose. He didn't have to box out. He knew that in that situation, that's the right move. Great play by J.V.
Hamilton turn it over. Here's Boucard, double teamed. His pass no good. Weber. Hamilton's got numbers going back the other way. Here's Johnson from downtown, missed it. Hayes with the deep board. He gives it away. And that rolls in. Hamilton, you can't kill them. Here's Mullings, though, and Mullings ends the game. A valiant effort from Hamilton, but in the end, Niagara, they win this one in Elam.
Absolutely, that was fun to watch.
It was good.
Yeah, it's new. It was fun. It was like watching the flow go, momentum. Yeah, and you saw Hamilton decide.